Welcome to the Krown Codex. I'm your host, Levi, and this podcast is for young men. Young men who know they're meant for more, but don't necessarily have the right guidance. Each episode, I bring on an expert that's actually put in the hours, done the work, who can help you build wealth, further develop relationships, overall help you become a more stronger, grounded man. There's no fluff or gatekeeping or anything like that. It's just a knowledge that might have cost you hundreds, if not thousands. So if you get any value from this, please show some love, subscribe, drop a comment in below, as these experts are literally coming on here, giving up their time for free. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into it.
For anyone that doesn't know who you are or how you become a professional fighter, kind of give like the backstory of like how you got there.
Well, my name is McCrorie. I fight professionally at Pacific MMA. I've been fighting professionally since last year, but fighting altogether since I was 16 years old.
Who got you into it?
Well, I started like Taekwondo first.
What? I didn't even know.
Yeah, I started I was really young. I forgot kind of how young I was.
Yeah.
I don't know, 8 or something, or 6. Like really young. I just kind of did that, like my dad put me into it.
Yeah.
Did that for a little bit. I just didn't think I could fight, so I tried Muay Thai. And then the gym I was at, didn't really do a lot of sparring or anything.
Yeah,
It was still a good gym, I still learned a lot.
Yeah.
And I remember one time I did like a sparring session, just like a local one. TJ is my current coach's grandson.
Yeah.
This is like ages ago, and he almost knocked me out. He pretty much bashed the shit out of me. And ever since then, I was like, oh man, I really want to go to that gym. They can fight.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to learn. So then, when I was like 15, I made the move. Came to this gym, and I haven't looked back since.
So basically, for this episode, it's like, what you take from fighting into like your life. Obviously, I have a basketball background, and I came into this much later. You've been doing this for way longer. I think where it's like different from other sports is like that fear aspect and all that kind of stuff. How many fights have you had now?
15. I think 4 pros, 11 amateurs.
Talk about does the fear ever go away as you progress, or what's like?
Nah, I'm always scared. At the end of the day, you're fighting someone. So much can happen. You can get hurt. Like my last fight, that really scared me. I got dropped that first round.
Yeah.
And I remember after that fight, I remember crying, because that's when I kind of came to, and I just realized what happened to me. I still won the fight.
Yeah.
But I was just scared because I got hit really bad. That fear is always in the back of my head. But that's with everything. I think.
Does it change as you because you're going to amateur and you're now a pro?
No,
has it changed? Or was it the exact same feeling every time?
It gets worse.
Worse?
Yeah, because the more I fight, the more I win.
Yeah.
The better people you're gonna fight.
Yeah.
The harder you have to work. The sore I'm gonna get after.
Yeah.
So it's always there, but I don't tend to think about it. I just think when I go in there, have fun, and that tends to override it.
Yeah. Just before the fight, walk us through what's going through your mind and all that kind of stuff, what you do to calm yourself, or maybe hype yourself, or what's your routine?
Well, I always like to have a good feed. I like to have a lot of carbs.
Yeah.
Get my belly full for that night. But mental preparation wise, it sounds kind of corny, but I got TikTok and search on fight videos and inspirational stuff, and I just I watch those. I don't know, just kind of get myself in that right headspace, and then when we get to the fight show, I usually just kind of relax, calm down, have my music on, and I kind of bring a towel sometimes, and a jumper, so I kind of go in the corner, pretty much lay down, sleep, just focus, cut everyone out. I don't go on my phone to text people, go on TikTok and those inspirational stuff. But I just kind of focus myself into the zone and really visualize myself and kind of visualize myself winning and kind of mentally preparing myself on what's about to happen.
So you actually want to think about it, or is the TikTok more so you don't think too much and spiral?
No, it's kind of when when you're like, you know, 3 a.m. at night, you see a motivational TikTok, you're like, oh, come on, hell yeah. It's the same vibe.
Okay.
I see it, I'm like, oh, come on, hell yeah, come on. But like, you know, the difference is I'm actually doing it.
No, cool.
But that's honestly pretty much it. Like, I'll, lay down, relax, watch motivational TikToks.
Yeah. So you do your routine, you know, you're like, entering the fight. What's like, have you ever like been against someone you're like, you know, this guy's like fucking me out, and you know, had the thought of like maybe I should throw in the towel or something like that?
It's every fight, like usually I always fight people. So far I've always fought everyone, you know, older than me. Usually they're always bigger than me as well, so I'm like, fuck, what am I doing? You know, I see them like when they face or when I just they're about to touch gloves, go in my corner, about to fight, I'm like, oh my god, this guy's big. But, you know, like I think I'm in there, you know, it's only 5 rounds or 3 rounds. So just send it, you know? What's the worst that can happen? Just go.
Have you ever like had a fear like, outside of the ring, like more so like, you know, what my friends would think, or my family think, or my missus, or that kind of stuff, like getting KO'd or something like that?
Yeah, that's always in the back of my head. When my first ever fight, I was like, you know, scared. Because I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna let lose, and everyone knows who I am. But like, I lost my first fight, but that didn't stop me. I kept fighting. But yeah, that always is a big thing. But it is a bit scary to, you know that you're just gonna get dropped and all your mates are watching. But I got a good support. All my mates will support me no matter what. So like it's probably a bit embarrassing at the start, but like, you know, it's nothing I can not laugh about.
Have you seen in the gym, like, you know, obviously you're more experienced and you've taught, you know, some of the youngers. Have you ever seen like that stop them?
Sometimes like some fighters we have a fight and they're so serious about it, you know. Obviously I've like, you know, watching UFC and all that social media stuff, and then you make it really serious and all that, and they lose, and then they just, you know, beat themselves up. They don't come back, or, you know, they kind of like crash out a little bit after they lose.
What do you think, like, what's like you're thinking like when you see that happening?
It's a bit sad because in my opinion, like, you know, it's not that big of a deal. You know, you're an amateur, you should be fighting so many times. You win one, you lose one, who cares? You just keep fighting. A lot of people just put so much pressure and so much meaning to it, which is fair enough, you know, you're fighting at the end of the day. But I think people, like, a sport like fighting, you should just have fun. You know, just have fun, like, you know, all this seriousness about fighting and all that, like, just have fun. If you lose, whatever, think about what went wrong, just and then go back and make sure it doesn't happen again.
Would you say like it, so you're saying it's stayed pretty consistent even though like you've developed those players? It's the exact same thing, it doesn't get more easier with those mindsets? That's interesting. How does that translate to life? You know, you got this huge fear, you have to overcome it. Outside of fighting, you know, like relationships or this kind of stuff, or maybe just socially, how does that translate into life?
Well, sorry, I'll backtrack on the thing about it not getting easy. It doesn't get easier, but what does get easier is the ability, or my ability to handle it.
Sorry. No, that's good.
My ability to handle it. Because like, it never gets easier, but like, I just know what's coming, and I know that I can do it. So I know, like, you know what, it is hard, but I can do it. And I've done it multiple times, so I know I can do it.
So it's just like repping it out.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I just know my ability.
Yeah.
The fear is still there, but I know I can do it. And, you know, out in the real life, I just think like, oh, I fight people. You know, what's the worst that can happen? Like, and I know like with fighting, like I push myself. It's a lot of self-dedication. So I just take that into, you know, whether it's work or learning new things or relationships, or, you know, if I'm in the mud, it's just going to get better. If I just keep at it, just, you know, don't give up. Because, you know, if you give up, as Max Holloway said, you're a certified loser.
Let's, I'm going to throw you in the deep end a little bit. What about like approaching women? Like, let's say, do you like, I've done this fighting and I'll go approach, or?
Well, not really. Like, when I was fighting, I still am, I never really went out my way to approach ladies. Now, I definitely didn't do that.
We'll throw that in there.
Definitely.
Subtitles.
I love my girlfriend. But yeah, like, no, not really. Like, I never really focused on that sort of stuff, like partying and women when I was in camp.
Yeah.
You know, stayed away from that stuff. And now I have a supportive, beautiful girlfriend that helps me out. But yeah, like, I tend to stay away from, like, you know, party, and when I'm in camp, I don't drink at all. Really kind of just lock in and focus. And that does help, because you got to push yourself away from those distractions, because they tend to take you back in.
So how much would you say like preparation is like a big part of that, you know, that fear factor?
A big thing, because like 2 weeks out, or maybe a week out, like of my fight, then I start to like, I change my thinking process, like I change the way I train. Like usually I train like, you know, my cardio, focus on getting as much reps as I can. But then I'll kind of focus on my fight game, like my fight plan. I lock in, and I really, like when I hit the bag, I hit with intent. I want to try and like knock him out, or hit with this, or hit with that. So I kind of change my thinking, and then that helps because I'm just used to thinking like that. So when I get into that fight, I'm already kind of there.
So you switch halfway through the camp?
Yeah, pretty much. Or if it's like 2 weeks out from the fight, I'll try to focus more on kind of locking in.
What is like the biggest difference from like, you know, like training as an amateur to, you know, a pro?
The money? No.
What is like your like schedule? Has it changed, or has it intense?
I guess I have been training a lot more. I've been taking it obviously a lot more serious. Like there's more on the line. It's not just amateurs. Amateurs in my like mindset was just like fight as much as I can, fight. But then when I turn pro, it's a bit more like, oh, like, you know, I need to make sure. Obviously fight a lot, but
I think we're talking about like, I guess your schedule, what it looked like as an amateur to a pro, and you know, what is some things, systems that you've changed to like match that?
I guess my resting periods, like usually when I was training amateurs, like if I was working or when I was at school, I like, oh my god, yes, I have a rest day, you know, I'm not working that day, and I just relax and chill and then train, you know, like, at the end of the day when the normal training is. But now, like if I'm not working, I've got to train twice a day. No rests during the week. If I'm really tired, I've got to still go to training and just maybe focus on something else, not go so hard. But I only have one rest day a week, and that's Sunday. So
what's like one thing that's like you've incorporated that's like been a big changer? Like, have you brought people in?
I'd say me hiring a nutritionist has really helped. My ability to understand food, and like that's like helping a lot with my stamina and my tiredness and all that stuff. And like that's taken a lot of stress away, because like, all I have to do is just look, cook.
So they provide it. And
provide everything, and then he's like also has like strength programs, but that has really helped in my career so far.
You got like a strength nutritionist. What's like one thing that I guess that was like, you're like, oh, I didn't know that?
One thing would probably be water loading. Like during fight camp or fight week, I usually try and diet all the way and really get down to 75, you know, like a week out. Like on that way, a week out. And then when I fight, I'm probably like 77, 76. But like, you know, after talking to my nutritionist, you know, he showed me this like thing, it's called like, you know, water loading. And obviously it's been around for years, but I just didn't know it. And that pretty much means I can lose that weight and jump back straight up to like because usually I'll cut around 4 or 5 kilos. Like right now I'm hovering around 80 kilos, so I'll probably try to get down to 80 or 79. And then you just pretty much drink a lot of water, no carbs, no sodium, and then I mean your body just does something, does a lot of cleaning and stuff, and you know, gets rid of all these like fluids. You do that for a couple of days, and then the day of the weigh, no water, and the next day, and after the weigh-ins, you got to make sure you rehydrate properly, and then you'll be back heavier, like 4 or 5 kilos heavier.
What stage of like your development has taught you the most of life, like the amateurs or like the pros?
I'd say definitely the pros, because like I had to like, you know, I had to train and go in there, you know, I had pads on. If I got kicked, it would hurt but not hurt as much. Elbow pads, you know, get hit, don't worry about getting cut, but there's just more on the line, more in line of having a bad cut, you know, bad kick to the knee or a bad kick to the face. So just being more careful and taking my time.
Like, you know, people that are coming up through the ranks, what is like, in your opinion, like the biggest like misunderstood about like discipline and all that?
Way start full on buy this, buy that, buy all the equipment, do that straight away. There's no need, you know, you're gonna burn yourself out. You know, if you want to start training, train once a week, train twice a week, because it is really taxing on your body, especially if you're not used to it.
Yeah.
So just, you know, dip your toes in the water a little bit, put your knee in the water, okay, feeling, put your waist under the water, and then, you know,
just slowly build up.
Just slowly build
so
it.
you see like a lot of people like, get all the gear and all that, but not actually show up.
All the gear, no idea.
Yeah.
You just take your time, you know, little steps, baby steps.
Outside, like what sacrifices have you made to get to where you are?
Kind of eat through that. A lot of social stuff. And then, you know, you all, you know, a lot of young males, they go out partying, got the boys who are drinking. So that was like, you know, a bit tough at the start.
Yeah.
All my boys understand. And then I always, you know, still try and make my appearances here and there.
You ever feel like you're like missing out? Or?
Yeah, of course, all the time. But like, you know, it is what it is. I chose to do this, so you've got to sacrifice a few stuff in order to achieve it. And prime example that I've noticed a couple of years is I never really celebrate my birthday anymore.
Really?
It was my birthday like yesterday. Didn't do anything.
Shit, bro.
Because you know, I can't do anything. You know, I can't go out. Obviously I have people around me.
Yeah.
You know, wish me happy birthday. That's right. But you know, I don't have a dedicated day to celebrate. And you know, I've got no time. I've got to train.
Oh, so, that's actually crazy.
For the past couple of years, I just haven't really had it. I'll like after my fight, I'll be like, alright, we'll have, you know, this is Shane's birthday, you know. But yeah, I've never kind of really celebrated on my actual birthday. And that's alright, it doesn't really bother me as long as I
that's actually crazy.
keep training.
Like even like basketball, I'd still like celebrate. Like I remember like not being able to eat the cake and stuff. Like, but that's crazy, man. Like what? Surely you like wish at times like that you're like.
Yeah, like. I mean, for my 18th, I did like have a part, like, you know, get together. I think for my 20th, 21st, I will have one. But for this, I was just kind of like, that's right. Just like, you know, saw my family. Just, you know, life was just going on. So I had to continue with that.
So you kind of just like talk your like, how do you deal with that? Like, because I feel like, because I, you know, with basketball, I like when they're like I remember like my friends like traveling to Thailand and all that. But I had like a finals and all that kind of stuff. So like missing out on that stuff like would fucking like suck.
Well, I'd say like, you know,
and like that's your birthday, right? That's
I've still got plenty.
You
know, as like life continues, you've still got a lot of opportunities to hang with your friends, a lot of opportunities to make memories. And if you miss out, that's all right. You just got to cherish the other times you spend with them. And I do that every time I spend with them. I always cherish, and I know I'm always gonna be able to hang out, do social things. But fighting, I know, like if I miss that fight, or you know, I'm thinking in my head, I could have fought, I could have done that, done that. You know, so I just kind of prioritize fighting over other stuff.
You obviously know Kobe Bryant, right? Yeah. So one thing that, like, on that, it's like that played on my mind as like a basketball was, you know, like he dedicated his life to the sport, and then obviously the crash happened. You know, do you ever feel like what happens is feel like you've dedicated your whole sport and you don't get those moments?
Yeah, like I always thought, like even now I think like, do I really want to continue fighting? Like I see all these other like pro fighters who have been in WA and have fought on a high level, and then, you know, they're not really doing much with their lives now. They're retired, but, you know, they don't really have a big name. I've gone far, but haven't gone that extra mile to, you know, be that successful. I've always thought of that, but one thing that kind of keeps me going is I've just got little goals at the moment. Like right now, I want to defend my belt, and then after that, if I win it, hopefully I can fight over East. If I can fight over East, I'll get another check off my little goals. But the one goal I have right now is I want to try and fight for national champion, for the WBC national belt. And if I win that, then I'll be like, all right, do I still want to continue, or can I take another road? But yeah, just I guess little goals. Has fighting ever like costed you a relationship? Not really. Like I guess it's kind of pushed other people away that, that I've noticed that aren't, that impactful in my life, that don't really, have no impact in my life. But the people who are in my life, they understand it. Everyone believes in me. So in my opinion, because I've got like good people around me, so they won't say, "Oh, Shane keeps fighting, I'm just gonna leave him."
Yeah.
Everyone around me is good, so they understand it. So I'm happy for that.
You ever feel guilty at those times? Like, maybe he's not like he's into drugs or something like that, and you kind of have to like not be involved in that, or
like not really. Like always that I'm around, don't really do that too much of that stuff. If some of them do, or some of them would be drinking, I won't be drinking, they understand it.
Yeah.
I'll be having my Coke Zero and I still have fun. I don't have to drink to have fun. They're just all understanding. I've got good people around me. So.
Yeah. We'll go in a little more detail about also that. What's like the biggest lesson from like, I guess maybe a loss you had? Like what was like the biggest teaching in that moment?
Like fighting wise?
Yeah.
Probably my last amateur fight when I got absolutely bashed in the Cook Islands. It just kind of showed me like another level. I had to like...
For those, could you explain like what happened?
Oh, sorry. So I went over to the Cook Islands.
Yeah.
It's like 4 hours away from New Zealand. It's in the Pacific Islands. I fought their main guy, like a kickboxing bout for like a Cook Island title or whatever. And he absolutely battered the shit out of me. I was probably 17 then, I believe. He was like 21.
Yeah.
I describe him as a little Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
He hit really hard. He was very strong, and he ended up kicking me that hard in. I think this leg. Oh fuck! I actually forgot one of these legs, and it actually caused like a minor tear in my quad. But after that happened, it just ignited this fire in me. I was like, nah, that can't happen again. So I got a nutritionist, hit the gym, got bigger, got stronger, and I just told myself, it will never happen again. I just got bitched, and I'll never make that happen again.
Was it like a technique or like strategy, or was it just
pure brute force? Yeah, I feel like I'm probably more technical than him and stuff, but he was just so much stronger than me. Being 17 and him being 21 or 22, something like that. I just got overpowered.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What's it like fighting these older guys?
Pretty intimidating. Like at first, there was like seeing like 30s and like 28s and stuff, but like I don't know, it is what it is. I guess like I know they've got their man strength. They're a lot stronger than me, more experienced. Some of them are, but I just think I don't know, go in there and fight.
Some of them even have kids. Like that was the weirdest one for me. When I fought that copper, he was like, "You're 35," and I think like he's living like me, like just freedom, but he has kids, a career. I'm like, bro. So yeah, with the that one in the Cook Islands, you said you learned the most. Did that strip away anything, or?
Yeah, obviously, like I took some time off, like a bit of self-reflection. I was like, oh, do I really want to do this? Like, this room sucks. Like, because I was out for a while. My leg, I had to rehab, get strength in my leg. But like, it happens with everything, as highs and lows. And I was pretty low then, but I was like, nah, I want to win. I want to win. I don't want that to happen again. And so
what were you doing? Like, because I remember when I like fucked up my ankle when I was out, and when you literally live and breathe it every day, like what was that like? Not being able to like basically walk.
It was a bit hard. I went into like a bit of a not dark place, but I was a bit like I was like, oh god, no, what do I do now? Like I can barely walk as it is, and I can't train like how I used to train, and I just kind of like took a step back, and I was like, oh, what do I do? And I was like, nah, I really want to try and get back, and I just kind of had a bit of self-reflection. I was like, nah, gotta go back into it.
What exactly did you like focus on in that moment?
Just the fire in me, pretty much, because like I couldn't train, so I just I was getting angry. I was like, nah, what the hell? Like I was getting frustrated, and then like when I started to go back to training, I just use that fire to continue training.
Most like young men tie like their identity to, you know, yeah, like social media, like, you know, status, women, and all that kind of stuff. What is like fighting taught you about, you know?
Usually the people that talk the most get dropped. Like when I fight, you know, I guess a big respect thing for me, like my opponent, I know he's done the work to cut down.
Yeah.
So have I, so it's like always respect for the fight, but you know, in the fight, obviously I'm trying to win.
Yeah.
But that's why I really like Muay Thai as well, because like, you know, it's based on Thai culture, Muay Thai. It's a big part of Thai culture is being respectful, and usually, even when you go to Thailand, if you see someone cocky and all that stuff, and you know, a bit of a dickhead, it's frowned upon. You know, like not many people like him. Obviously, if he's really good, you know, there's a difference between like, you know, being cocky and between being arrogant and like a dick. And whereas like MMA, people like, you know, try and feel like, you know, oh yeah, like, you know, this is this, but I just think, yeah, I don't like any of that. Like, be humble.
Because you're like stepping into like the pros now. Now you got to manage, like, I know a big thing about fighting scene as a pro is, you know, to make your money you got to promote. How do you balance, or are you stepping into that, or just dabbled in it, or?
Not really. I've thought about that and like, you know, looking into sponsorships, but in my opinion, even though I'm like the current BBC state champion, I don't think I've done enough to warrant that stuff. You know, like I want to really, you know, have, you know, accolades to say, look, I've done this and this, can I have a sponsorship? Or, you know, I'm this, you know, like follow my page or whatnot. But like the main way I get to grow myself is just when I fight and show everyone my skills. But yeah, I don't really worry about that too much.
When would be like you can speak on that stuff and do that, all that stuff? What level is that?
Obviously, like, you know, I have 2 state champion belts. But like, yeah, in my head, it's like, you know, yeah, it is what it is. Like, WA is a smaller, not smaller state, but like we're quite small compared to over East. It's not as big there, so the competition isn't as sharper as over East. So I feel like once I fight over East, if I still win there, or if I do get that national belt, then I'll be like, all right. But right now, like, you know, just kind of head down, keep training, keep fighting.
Do you think you'll ever be able to do that, like the Conor McGregor?
Oh hell no. That's just not me. Obviously I do it like take the piss, you know, like I'm talking with like my boys and I like, you know, like talk up or something. And I'm like, do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? But like, you know, just like taking the piss at the end of the day. Well, I don't think I'll ever do that. Like, that's just not who I am. So no.
It's interesting because, like, you know, Conor McGregor doesn't have like the best record, but he's made a lot of money off that. So, you know, when you step in that pro, it's like, cause you still work a casual job.
Yeah.
To pay for like training, trips, and all that kind of stuff. Does that affect anything? Or?
Oh, like, no, like the job I'm at is like pretty good. Good money, good hours. I can work around with training, so I get paid pretty well.
And cut, what is it really?
I get paid enough to, like, you know, live on. But I don't pay rent or whatever. So like I'm lucky in a good position. But like in my opinion, like Conor McGregor, obviously, you know, he's walked the walk, he's talked the talk, he's got this, got that. But like for me,
it's just not you.
Yeah, like it's not me, because I just know, like, let's say there's a fight and I win, but I know I lost that fight, but still I won. But I'm like, oh nah, you know, to my head, like nah. You know, no, that's just, I won't count that. Or like, you know, if there's a fight that like I win and I really won that fight, but you know, no one really talks about it, I don't really care, because I know I work for, I done that. So at the end of the day, it's just kind of what I take back on it.
I mean, we talked about loss, so we'll get into like, what does actually like winning a fight feel like? For those, like, try and describe like someone that's never stepped into the ring or anything.
For the best thing in the world. Best and the worst thing in the world, in my opinion, because, you know, like, you work so hard and, you know, you've had this full-on fight with this another bloke and you win, you know, especially if you win like a belt, win like a, you know, state champion belt, you know, you're up high, you're like, you know, let's go, you celebrate with everyone, you know, but then after that, you're like, okay.
That's really?
Yeah, like...
Well, how long does that feeling last?
A couple of days.
Really?
No, yeah, like probably a day, and I'll look at the photos, like, yeah, cool. Now, next one. It's like, you're on the high, you're on, you know, you're I've got, you know, the belt, I'm the state champion, but then there's always a next level. There's always a next level, so I've got to go back down, build my way back up, fight again, be up again, go down, build my way back up, fight again. So it doesn't last that long, but it is the best feeling. Like I haven't tried it, but like cocaine or drugs, you know, you're probably the best feeling on a big crash. Best feeling on a big crash.
I thought it would have lasted. Mine lasted like, I swear, weeks. But you were talking about like, so it feels like you don't even get to celebrate that much because you're literally on to the next fight.
Yeah, pretty much. Because I think like, for me, it's just because how I am to myself. I'm probably like, you know, my biggest hater. I'm probably my biggest fan, but my self-judgment is always really high. Like, I always criticize myself. Like, let's say I did win that fight, but I'm like, I didn't like how I won. You know, like a couple of examples. Like I fought in Thailand last year. I won that fight, but shit fight. Didn't like it. My last fight, I won that fight for the East State champion belt, but you know, like he caught me in the first round, and I was like, you know, like I reckon I won. I think I won unanimous, but in my opinion, probably should have been split because like, well, I had fucked up that fight. But like, I just kind of thought like, well, I shouldn't have won that way. You know what I mean? I should have won another way.
What do you think about literally how you process that? Because I can see like that, like I know for boxers it's like exactly the same. Like, and that's what, like, especially being like remote, you don't have all the coaches and that, so you have to be like critical of yourself, but you're also in the extent like, there's been times where I've been like so critical, and then like my mum would have to like point it out, like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, is that what kind of happens for you in those moments?
Yeah, like, I guess I can get overwhelmed, like sometimes, especially like when I work. I don't work, you know, 12-hour days, like how the norm is in Kalgoorlie,
but it's still a full-time job. Like this one,
like I work like 8.5 hours, but then after that, I go straight to the gym, do a bit of like strength and conditioning stuff, and then I've got like, you know, do basic chores, and that's my time to like do my meal prep, or do study, and then I've got to train again, and like I can get overwhelmed. The biggest thing I do is, you know, like little goals, alright, I'm at work, cool, now do this job at work, work's finished, alright, now I'm at the gym, doing my strength and conditioning, alright, I'm gonna complete this circuit, that's done, alright, cool, what's next? Just little things, don't try and
Has winning solved anything internally for you?
Yeah, it shows me, it's given me, like, cause I think when I was younger, like, given the fact that I was saying before, how, you know, my biggest hater and my biggest lover is myself. Worse back then, because I'd always critique everything. And I'm like, no, Shane, you know, you're not good enough this, you're not good enough, I was a little bit chubby then, so I was like, you know, you're fat. But now, you know, it's like, you know what, Shane, like, you won that fight, good job, but this, but you won that fight, good job, you got state champion, good job, but this, but still, you know, you won that fight, so it's helping me kind of, you know, being able to, I guess, cope with that inner battle with yourself.
How did you, like, did it have to reach like a really bad point for you to be able to pick that off? Because I've seen, like, especially like training here or something, especially one of the younger ones, I can see them that talk in their back of their heads, and they'll kind of like beat themselves up and all that. And one of the younger ones that, you know, trains with like the bigger guys, I can see this. So
I see it too.
What was like, what looking at that and like, you know, what you had to do to kind of like, I guess, you know, cope and like battle with that, and so it doesn't go overboard. What was?
I think the biggest thing for me was just perspective, because when I started fighting, like, I'd get a lot of people saying, oh, I wish I started when I was younger, you know, like, oh, I wish I started when I was like, you know, when I didn't have a, you know, full-time job, when I didn't have a house, like, and more time to devote to it. So I was like, I'm younger, I don't have a house. I was like, oh, well, and you know, there's no point of me complaining and beating myself up when these guys are looking at me. I'm like, oh, I wish I was in that position. So I try and make the most of it and try and like not take it for granted. And when I do beat myself up, I'm like, stop being a bitch. Like, you know, like you're in a position where a lot of people, you know, wish for. You know, and I always like need to try and think about that sometimes. But I do beat myself up. You know, everyone does.
You switch it from like negative to like positive. And, like,
I try
showing gratitude for it. Going on to like some of your teachings and like, I guess, what you would advise young men you know, you're still young yourself, so what are things that, you know, you're still trying to figure out?
I'm old now. I'm 20.
Yeah, big 20, bro.
I guess like still what I want to do in life. Like, I don't know if I want to keep fighting.
Yeah.
You know, like fighting some. I think my nuts might show me. But sorry, the Muay Thai shorts.
Just a big black square the whole interview.
little black square. What was the question again?
Basically, you know, you're young yourself. Like, we literally have like time on our side. Like, what are you still trying to figure out?
Oh, I guess like a purpose. That makes sense. I feel like every guy or everyone has to have a purpose in order to live. You know, there's no point of just kind of coasting through, waiting for the weekend and, you know, restarting back and just waiting back for the weekend again. Like, everyone's just got to have a purpose, whether that's, you know, paying for house.
Yeah.
You know, like simple as, you know, like train for a marathon. You know, trying to get skinnier. Everyone's got to have a purpose. So I'm still trying to find out my life purpose.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like, whether that is still continue fighting or take a, you know, like another step, you know, get a full-time job and work for that. But like, I think right now I'm still kind of trying to find.
Yeah, it's interesting because like looking out, like, you know, especially fighting, you're on the big screens, you have all these people. Like, a lot of people would think, yeah, that's what I want, but they forget, like, you know, you're also a human outside of that. Like, not just a superstar. But yeah,
Not a superstar. Not a superstar.
But on that, like, what separates, like, in your opinion, like the people that make it and the people that don't?
Never back down, never give up.
Just don't quit.
Shout out. Yeah, you know that reference? Yeah, just don't quit, honestly. Like, you face a wall, you know, get hit, you get knocked down, get back up. You know, you face a wall, if you can't go over it, go around it, can't go around it, go through it, you know, go under it, build a bridge. Find, you know, and like a lot of professional fighters, they're in a position where they can't give up, you know? They're in poverty. They've moved to another country, they can't give up. I guess it's just putting yourself in a position where, you know, can't give up and put all their eggs in one basket. That's why they made it so successful.
Let's say you lost everything, basically all your skills, all that kind of stuff, and you had and you had like a fight coming up, and you know you only have 3 months. What are you learning? Like, what steps are you doing to get back to where you are right now?
I guess
The fastest route. Like, you've got like literally 90 days. You got a pro fight. You know you have to fight him. What are you doing in that meantime to get yourself as quickly as back as possible?
No, I think consistency. Like, no matter what, consistency. Like, you have a goal. Like, I'm fighting in 3 months. Cool. You know, I've lost all my ability to train. So I'm like, all right, start off with the basics. 3 months. Train every day. You know, every day. Consistency.
Yeah.
But I'd, you know, stick to the basics first. Stick to the basics. But just do it every day. You know, humans are creatures of habit. You know, when you keep doing it, you know, you're gonna get used to it.
Yeah.
So
So if you had that fight, you're just smashing out the basics.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Nothing else.
Yeah, literally. Like, that's even how I fight. You know, like, I do fancy stuff here and there. Like, you know, just fun. You know, I keep it pretty basic. You know, I keep a nice tight guard. Or I try to. I got fucking not dropped. But like, you know, I keep it nice basic. Like single 1-2s, like straight down. You know, keep it basic. But just, you know, 1,000 times.
Yeah. Last one, and we'll finish up. Is there anything you want to leave, or a message you'd like to put out for anyone? They got a young man that, you know, maybe wants to look at taking fighting on and all that. What would your message be to him?
I feel like if someone's coming up and they want to do fighting, just give it a go, you know. I always like, don't be scared. Well, I get scared.
Yeah.
But, you know, just give it a go. Try and change your mindset about fighting. You know, think of it about having fun. Because when you have fun, you know, you feel the best.
Yeah.
You know, you live the best.
Learn more.
Yeah, exactly. You learn more. So just have fun. Keep trying it. I know it's going to be hard at the start, like it always is. It's super hard, but that's the hard part is the start. Just keep going.
Yeah.
Keep continuing and set yourself a goal. Like, all right, I'm gonna go to every Muay Thai class for 6 months. I'm gonna go to every single one. All right, I'm not gonna skip any of them out. Do that for 6 months, and after that 6 months, take a step back, have a look. You know, have I really, do I really want to keep doing it? Have I really, I've really gone to everyone the whole 6 months. Do I really want to keep doing it? If yes, another 6 months. Just have yourself a big goal, and have these little goals that'll help you to achieve it. But
Appreciate it, Shane.
Thank you.
Good stuff. Yeah. Jiu-jitsu.
Oh.